Let us discuss about pyrazinamide. Pyrazinamide is a first anti-tubercular drug. Anti-tubercular drug. To be specific, it is first line drug against tuberculosis. In first line of drugs, we have 5 drugs, right? Among those 5 drugs, one is pyrazinamide. Okay, this drug is weak bactericidal. Is weak bactericidal. Okay, it is weak bactericidal and it is more active in acidic medium. Where do we see acidic medium? We see acidic medium when there is active inflammation. Right? When there is active inflammation, you can see acidic medium. When do we see active inflammation? We see active inflammation in the first 2 months of tuberculosis. In the first 2 months of tuberculosis, we'll see active inflammation, and in active inflammation we have acidic medium. In this acidic medium, pyrazinamide effect will be more. Okay, and so as this drug is more active in acidic medium, right? So we'll use this drug in the first 2 months. In the first 2 months. In the first 2 months of tuberculosis, we prescribe this drug. If we prescribe this drug in the first 2 months, what are the benefits that we are going to get? The benefits are, one is it reduces the duration of treatment. Another second one is reduces the relapses, right? So mainly we have two important benefits of using this drug in the first 2 months of tuberculosis. One is it reduces the duration of treatment, and the second one is it reduces the relapses. Clear? Now let's understand the mechanism of action of this pyrazinamide. Mechanism of action. If you take mechanism of action, right, when the patient ingests drugs, when the patient ingests this pyrazinamide, it goes into mycobacterium, right? It goes into mycobacterium. In the mycobacteria, there is an enzyme called pyrazinamidase. Zinamidase. Okay, this pyrazinamidase, what it does is, this pyrazinamidase, it converts pyrazinamidase to pyrazinamide acid. Okay, it converts into acidic form. Pyrazinoic acid. Okay, so by the action of this enzyme, pyrazinamide will convert into pyrazinoic acid, right? This enzyme pyrazinamidase is encoded by a gene called PNCA gene. Okay, this pyrazinamidase is encoded by PNCA gene. Okay, so what are the things that we have discussed in the mechanism? When the drug goes into mycobacterium, there is an enzyme called pyrazinamidase. This enzyme converts pyrazinamide to pyrazinoic acid, right? This pyrazinamidase is encoded by a gene called PNCA gene, right? So when there is mutation in this PNCA gene, it results in development of resistance. Okay, if mutations develops in this gene, then it results in resistance development, right? And other mechanisms of action is, it disturbs the cell membrane. It disturbs the cell membrane of mycobacterium. Okay, this is one mechanism. One other mechanism, the first one is when pyrazinamide when acted upon by an enzyme pyrogenomidase, it gets converted to pyrogenomic acid, right, acidic form. This acid, what it does is, it disturbs the mycolic acid production. Mycolic acid production. This mycolic acid is specific to mycobacterium, right? It is very important for the mycobacterium. So when there is disturbance to this, when there is less production or inhibition of production of this mycolic acid, then it results in death of mycobacterium, right? So the two important mechanisms of action is, one is disruption of production of mycolic acid, second one is mm, destruction of cell membrane, right? These are two important mechanisms of action. Now, as I told you, resistance development is by development of mutations in the PCNA gene, right? Now let's understand pharmacokinetics. Pharmacokinetics. This drug, it's absorbed orally. Okay, oral absorption is really good and gets distributed all over the body. Especially it can go into even CSF. It can go even into CSF. So as it is entering into CSF, we can use this drug in meningeal tuberculosis. Meningeal tuberculosis, right? So as this drug is going into CSF, we can use this drug in meningeal tuberculosis. And metabolism, if take metabolism, this metabolism will take place in liver. And if talk about excretion is in urine, right? So these are the important points regarding pharmacokinetics. What are the things that we have discussed in pharmacokinetics? It gets absorbed orally, right? And it can go even into CSF, so we can use in meningeal tuberculosis. And it gets metabolized in the liver and it gets excreted in the urine. Clear? Now moving to side effects. Now moving to side effects or adverse effects, we can say. The first side effect is hepatotoxicity. Hepatotoxicity. Okay, this is very important side effect. If there is hepatic related diseases, if there are any liver diseases, then we should not use this drug. Okay, so in liver diseases, this drug is contraindicated. And this pyrogenomide, what it does is, it inhibits secretion of uric acid in the kidney. Okay, secretion of uric acid in the kidney is inhibited, so it results in hyperuricemia, right? It results in hyperuricemia. And other side effects are, we can say abdominal distress, fever, rash, and loss of diabetic control, many other and other side effects. Mainly if there is any diabetic condition, if there is condition like diabetes, then we have to we have to monitor glucose levels. Right? So let's write the last point. If there is diabetics, then we have to monitor glucose levels, because this pyrogenomide, it affects glucose control. Okay, thank you for watching.